Alright, so we're sitting here with Lilian Garcia PFL. Just how excited are you for the up-and-coming events on December 31st, the upcoming fights?
This is incredible. Seriously, the fact that it has a regular season, the playoffs, and the championship, like it just keeps building, building, and building. So to be also the only female in combat sports to be an in-cage announcer is incredible. And think about it, the main event is Kayla Harrison against Larissa Pacheco. Two women that are going off, and here I am going to be in there. So it's all three women in the cage for the main event. Awesome.
Talk about, you've been a part of the women's evolution for a long time between your work in the WWE and now in the PFL. How special has it been for you personally to be a part of the women's evolution and to be a part of the women's empowerment movement?
Yeah. That's the thing, is I've been able to see it, the whole stride of it, which has just been incredible to see the evolution of it and how far women have come and how, you know, just a little bit perseverance, 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 and hard work. Because sometimes women have to fight harder in order to prove themselves. But then, you know, when they do, I love the fact that the fans have embraced it, that they've encouraged this, and it is really, we're in the best era ever.
How did you hear about the PFL? May I be allowed to ask that? And like, what got you like with working with them to begin with?
So they contacted me. I heard through a friend of mine that reached out that said the PFL is looking to contact you. They found a way to get to you through me. Is it okay if I forward your information to them? And I was like, absolutely, let me look into it. And then I was like, man, this is great. When I went and had the meeting with them, I was sold from the get-go.
Were you there from the first day till now, or
yes.
were you just a recent addition to the team?
I've been there from the very beginning of this season.
Gotcha.
So
of this season two.
Yeah.
So just talk about being a part of the second season and the evolution of the PFL, because it's got to be exciting for them to be a part of this growing brand and a growing company, right?
Yeah, you know, starting a brand is difficult, and starting a brand that's giving away $6 million right off the get-go is a lot. And I know that there were a lot of fighters that weren't in the PFL that watched this last year and said, let's see if those checks really do cash. And when they did, they were like, oh my God, this is for real. And the fact that this is back, and that's what's bringing a lot of really great fighters to this, is that they have the opportunity to change their lives, like and it's in their own hands, right? The whole destiny of the season is in their own hands. So it's an incredible thing to be a part of and to watch the PFL, their own evolution of this.
I know you can't speak for them, but I mean, how special do you think it would be for these fighters to be able to have that own control of their own destiny, to be able to tell their story through their fist and through their artwork, you know?
You know, there's a lot of things when you're getting judged in a lot of competitions and all, it's kind of hard. Even like, let's say skating, you could go out there and do great, and sometimes maybe the judge doesn't see it, so you don't get a good score, and so all of a sudden you're not where you wanted to be. But the fact that you can go in there and if you knock out the guy, that's it, you're advancing. If you put him in submission, you are advancing. So it really is in your hands. The only time that it's not is if you let it go all the rounds that it has to get into judging, right? Then that's the only time. But even then, look, it just is one of those things that the fighters have been saying that they absolutely love, that they get to control their destiny.
Let's talk about the evolution of the fighters that you've been able to see during season two. I'm sure they must have evolved from the first fights that you've seen, fights that you've seen them to this point, and now, like, how special has it been for you to see that evolution and their growth?
When you see a fighter grow, that is incredible. You know, I've gotten lucky enough with the WWE for 15 years. I was in front of the front row. Like, I had the best seat in the house, and now I have the best seat in the house again. So I can see so closely what these fighters are doing and how they're progressing. And at first they have the nerves, and then by the time they're fighting 4 times, they're like, oh, this is, get me in there, you know? So they get a stride, which is what's so great about this league, is the fact that they can go ahead and fight so many times that you get better and better and better and don't have to wait months and months and months between fights.
And I'm sure it must be nice for the fighters too, just to be able to have some sort of an opportunity to keep fighting, because some leagues may not be able to give them that opportunity. So like,
right. So again, destiny is in their own hands.
Exactly.
When they advance to the next fight, right? They get to decide if they're going to go on to the next fight. And they're fighting more than twice a year. So it's really something that when you get in there, you do create a stride for yourself, and that makes improvements happen so much faster than if you're fighting twice a year.
I know mixed martial arts is sort of a new market to New York City, but it seems to be something that's a good fit so far. So how exciting is that, do you think, for fans of mixed martial arts to have an event like this here at Madison Square Garden?
Oh, this is amazing. I actually lived in New York City for 16 years, so New York is in my blood. It really has been a big part of my life. And to see this, like, I lived right up the street from Madison Square Garden, so to see that the opportunity of MMA to be here, because it's always known to be all about Vegas, and that's great, that's why we had the playoffs there, but then to have the culmination of the championship be at MSG, it's awesome.
You're somebody that a lot of people could admire and respect, because not only are you somebody that's in the cage, but you're a bit of an entrepreneur. So do you have like a message maybe for somebody that's out there and trying to like chase after a dream, like you've been able to chase after a dream?
Yeah, well, you know, it's so wild. So my podcast is called Chasing Glory, and we're all chasing some kind of glory. And when you hear the stories of all the people that come on my podcast, you hear that they've gone through so many struggles while they're chasing their dream. But it is because of those struggles and everything that they learned and then persevered that they're making it so much bigger than they even thought. Or sometimes the road to glory looks a little different, and it looks different for most people, and that's okay. That's what I think the biggest advice I can give is to be alright with whatever the journey is. Just keep working, keep striving for it, and you will see that it's going to unfold even better than what you thought.
Thank you so much for your time, ma'am.